Yeah. Boom to the hay, all you sports fans out there in the two-ball sphere, or to you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to the OMSR. I am your brief but very concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN sports thrill. Along with Dwayne, Darnett, ultimate sports fan, the OMSR mascot. We're talking briefly and concisely about what happened to Oklahoma, especially after last year's bowl outing. In our lesser bowl against, some might say, a lesser tiered opponent in Clemson, with all due respect. Like both schools, quickie sport rant, that guy, not this guy, that other guy. That's the problem. See all the mostly defensive penalties that led to early momentum. Alright, so, without further ado, if you're the Pi Kappa Alpha, House Sweethearts, U of U chapter Alpha Tau, giving you props. Along with the headshot from the OMSR episode that started all in 2011 when they were ready to just hand the trophy over to Duke. Why even bother having a tournament and the OMSR graphic? Okay, so the quickie sport rant. Now, Boomer Schooner Nation, hey, my early 40s, check out Dwayne while he comes up. He forgot to feed the pet, he's so into sports. If you were in your early teens, just getting into football, playing well, but you didn't know necessarily who to follow in the college game, you had your NFL leanings already. But Saturdays, you know, when you're in junior high and high school and you're new to it all, you don't necessarily know who to root for. Back then, it was Nebraska, OU, you know, your big name marquee brands, Michigan, Notre Dame, especially when Lou took over. And for my part, I will say, I just got kind of tired of rooting for NU or OU losing to Miami and Howard Schnellenberger's handlebar mustache. But like I tell you guys sometimes on some of the rants of the past, if your girlfriend ever gives you a hard time about why are you watching all these collegiate games, you didn't go to school there, nobody in your family, nobody you know, none of your friends, your boss didn't even go to school there, why do you care so much? It's like, well, I've been following this school for a while. It's not because I like their mascot as opposed to, you know, a Wolverine to a Chippewa. Jim Harbaugh. That's coming up on the next episode. But back to this episode. It's all in a reflection of the personality. Now remember, a lot of times the personality of a team who puts off the casual fan, not the die-hard, already part of the alumni, already rooting for the university and just getting caught up in the hype, right? It's usually on defense. LSU teams past, players putting off the casual fan, not recruiting new fan base per se. Defense, who was the defensive coordinator? Freudian slip there. Thinking about the LSU Notre Dame game. Bo Pelini. What happened to Bo Pelini in Nebraska? Mike Stoops at Oklahoma. Blaming his players all the time, not putting them in the right position. Come on, Bob Stoops. I know it's tough. Steve Sarkisian pulled the trigger. He took dude who built up all those great USC defenses, and Washington won that bowl game. That was the great Alamo Bowl of yesteryear, say, what, 4 or 5 years ago. The 54-55. game, but because Baylor came back in such a way, he said enough of this, did away with that great defensive coordinator, I've forgotten his name already, from USC fame. It's time to pull the trigger. I ask you, Boomer Schooner Nation, would Mike Stoops still be there if it wasn't a brother connection? Thanks for watching. No silly DUIs while you're out there, especially coming up New Year's Eve. The show being done on the 30th. Sports and alcohol, they are joined at the hip. Roll clip.
If you get a kick block and it gets returned, that really changes the complexion. I like this. Maybe a quick throw over to the right, some type of slant potentially. I think this is a good decision by Stevens.
Oklahoma may be offsides as well. This one's picked off, intercepted by the offensive lineman Charles Tapper, and Tapper is going to go for a touchdown, but hold the phone. It certainly appeared that Oklahoma was offside. Wouldn't that thing?
Unbelievable. We already showed what happened at the end of Bedlam, where Oklahoma had a running into the punter that they accepted instead of putting Oklahoma State on their own 15 with under a minute left. And now a total game changer is going to come back.
Offside. Defense. That's all here. Penalty. And a first down. start.
Boy, oh boy.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And now they do go the way. Excuse me, Tapper. Post out, not able to sweep the legs. Tapper, a very good athlete, high school basketball player until he played football late in his high school career. But just an unbelievable mental mistake, and just piles up for Oklahoma during this season.
Just to make it worse.
Mike Stoops, he said, okay, now we got a little momentum. Our defense should come out. And instead, right, sorry guys, right back down, keep playing.
3rd and 7 here. They're already well within field goal range if it comes to that. Underneath, plenty of first down. Williams breaks the tackle. Touchdown. Jordan Thomas couldn't corral him. Had him at the sideline for a short gain. Missed him, and it cost him 20 yards and 6 points.
Yeah, give credit to Mike Williams, a big guy who had terrific bounce. Looked to me like they may review this. There's an Oklahoma player down, but it did look like from the other angle the ball was in. If not, it's going to be on the.
I rarely do this, but I've taken a sincere interest in. We're going to right the ship, Oklahoma. I was a big-time Oklahoma booster boy in the 80s. Coaches coach, players play, but players can't play if the coaches don't put them in the right scheme of things. Now, this is kind of he's looking around at the players like it's all their fault. It's typical Mike Stoops. He's not a player's coach.
Go take it.
Go get it.
This has just got to be mind-boggling for Bob Stoops and his staff to have this team come out and not just seem unfocused, frankly.
Now, Clemson is arguably the best defensive team in the country, but you've got Samaje Perine, who is arguably the best running back in the country, and you've got 34 yards. Perine in the eye. That's the short toss. And boy, they haven't been afraid to go after Perine in this game. And they just firing at the big guy.
Well, here's what the penalties have gone to Oklahoma. Remember, they had a blocked field goal called back for being offside, so then Clemson re-kicked and made it. They had an INT return for a touchdown was called back that continued to drive that led to a touchdown. So just an awful set of circumstances in the first half.
Perine has gained only 13 yards on 8 carries. Just can't get past the line of scrimmage very often. He gets to carry this time, and there he goes. Across the 20. This is 243 pounds of running back who has quick feet and speed. And in the modern college game, you need to do better than that. Perine, fumble. Clemson football. Perine had lost exactly one fumble all year long until now.
This defensive line, this time it was Grady Jarrett who came through completely unblocked. Jarrett just having a monster senior year, playing as well as any inside defensive lineman. Completely blows up the block, and he almost took the handoff. Perine did an excellent job knocking it out of his hands, but the orange jerseys pursuing end up getting the ball. As you mentioned, a very rare fumble lost for Perine, and things go from bad to worse for Oklahoma.
They're going to want to rerun this baby over and over and over, and Oklahoma's going to be the one. If they give them the DVD, they just throw it in the nearest wastebasket on the way out the door to go home. There's nothing you can learn from this game.
Yeah, when you start spinning it forward to 2015, and we were talking about tackling in space for the secondary. Sometimes that's who are the athletes you have back there? Are they athletic enough to do it? But when I was watching the secondary, they just seem to not have a great feel of when to slow down, when to break down, when to go make the tackle. They seem to overrun a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of ways to solve that, but those things are not easy to fix. If the players are doing that, it's stuff you work on. But second.
Should this margin hold, it would be the worst Oklahoma bowl loss ever. The one before was 36 points in the Orange Bowl of USC when they whacked 55-19. It's also Bob Stoops' worst loss of his exceptional career.
And what a nice evening. We talk about full staff. What a nice evening for Brent Venables, who was the defensive coordinator for Bob Stoops for a number of years. Got an opportunity, got called out of the blue.
Brent's trying to fly now. And no flag. That looked like the helmet may have been grabbed.
As Curse got over, it looked like he just got the shoulder. But Brent Venables told a great story about Gary Peters, senior cornerback, 3 years ago when he took over and started talking about the goal need to be the #1 defense in the country. And Gary Peters said, really? Really? You think we could be #1? Well, guess what they're going to finish this season as?
Fumble recovered by Clemson. You didn't think it could get worse? Yes, it can. Josh Wilson appeared to be the guy who knocked it loose from Keith Ford. And some of the Oklahoma fans, not even the end of the third quarter, they have seen Ford so long.
Ford, who has, unlike Samaj P-Ryan, has had some fumble issues, and I don't know that there is enough Pepto-Bismol in the state of Florida to help the Stoops brothers tonight.